Moving on though to more of my generation, the Gen Zs and early millennials, you would say there's been a rise of services like Klarna, buy now pay later schemes, and a high use of credit and debt. Now, credit and debt has been used for many, many decades, but it's about now being used. I wouldn't say in a irresponsible way, but in a way that's not really necessary. People are financing clothes, people are financing, there's even services where you can finance food, pizzas. What do you think about credit? Do you feel like it's a double-edged sword? Do you feel like it's great, credit is king?
Yeah.
What stance do
Well,
you
let's start with the Klarna conversation, right? And where you were talking about people can finance food. I've never heard of this stuff. Some of this stuff is completely out of my realm. I don't hear about it until I see stuff until I hear about it through the grapevine, right? But it's like that sort of stuff can be incredibly crippling, and it's incredibly crippling for financially irresponsible people, right? Especially when they're financing things that they can't afford.
There you go.
Everybody finances everything these days, right? And people finance things that they can't afford and then wonder why they're not building wealth. And then they listen to like the guys from like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and all of these like highly experienced, highly wealthy entrepreneurs who use that kind of system to create wealth because they're financially empowered to do so. But you, my friend Simon, on 30 grand a year, struggling to make ends meet or finding your own financial challenges, you don't need that system. That system's not for you yet, right? You need to learn financial responsibility first, and then you can start to leverage that skill set that you've developed. But if you don't develop that skill set of financial responsibility first, then credit cards and stuff like that could be incredibly dangerous. But what you see is the super wealthy, the people that got 10 million net worth and so on and so forth, are like, yeah, I'd buy credit cards for this, and that, because they're financially responsible and they develop the skill sets to get there, right? So that's okay, but if you've not developed the skill sets to get there and you're on 25k a year or whatever it is, then you're going to find challenges, you're going to find struggles.
Definitely. Now that's the thing, and I feel like one thing I learned as well recently is that the ultra wealthy, those on 10 million plus, what they do as well with their properties and with their stocks, they'll give it to the bank and say, oh, I want a loan with this as the not the mortgage, as the security. So they make a loan from their own stocks. I mean, they're using that just to live their life. So they're using debt and credit efficiently, whereas others are you're just getting loans to just to buy liabilities. People take loans to go on holidays. It's just like payday loans, all of this rubbish, and it's crippling. It's crippling for the.
It's absolutely crippling. Yeah, if you use it the wrong way. Yeah, absolutely.
So, do you think credit is king?
Credit in what sense?
Yeah, I mean, credit is large. There's mortgages. There's all sorts. But would you say for where you got to in your life? Would you say credit helped you a lot? Did you leverage it a lot? Or would you say, nah, it's more my own money, everything outright? How would you say?
Yeah, you've got to use your own personal assets. Jim Rohn says that financial independence is the ability to live off the power of your own personal resources, right? So your own personal resources first, you develop the skill sets in order to use things. So I've used, obviously, the leverage and the credit of debt in regards to mortgages and stuff like that. You've got to be financially intelligent when it comes to that sort of thing, and make sure that you're investing in the right things so that the asset is covered, right? So that the asset covers the expenses. So I've got properties where the mortgage is like 600 quid a month, but the income is 3,000 a month. So therefore it's an asset. I'm using it to my advantage. But if you're using it the other way round, and then you've got a mortgage that's £600 a month, yet it's paying you £300 a month, my friend, you've got a problem. So this is the thing with all of the debt that a lot of people get themselves into, and then we normalize it so frequently that it becomes, again, another limiting thing. So I don't have the money to invest in that, but you've got a 30 grand Range Rover. How did you afford it? Oh, it's only £500 a month. Only? How much do you invest in a month? Oh, I don't have money to... Then you're being silly.
Silly.
Yeah? Another way to put it is like, whatever your car cost is, you make sure you're investing at least double that amount.
Have to be, and it's mandatory, because again, if not, you're keeping up with the Joneses. Yeah. You're just literally living a fake lifestyle, and the problem is you're in a trap because again, most of the time, if they're doing so, they want to keep up with appearances.
Yes.
There's new season clothes. There's new season, new cars, new models. So again, that means you're kind of trapped in this payment, this monthly direct debit, a life direct debit. and you're never ever gonna have to pay it off, and you're always a slave to the banks, essentially.
And here's the thing that I think people should understand. There's an incredible amount of people that have made a significantly more higher amount of money than me who would love to live the way that I live. And that's income management, isn't it? But a lot of people are stoked up on debt, and then they go, I can't afford it, I can't afford it, I can't afford it, I can't afford to invest. How do you do that? How do you do that? How do you do that? It's money management.
Exactly.
Take a percentage of your income. What is it for you? 10%. Okay, good start. 20%. Okay, good. You're moving forward. 30%. Okay, good. Now you're now you're getting into a thriving zone. 50%. Now you're moving.
Yeah.
Right? Do that for 3-4 years, my friend. You're gone. Your whole life changed.
Literally.
But if you're spending 100% of what you make, if you're spending 95% of what you make, I don't care how much you make 500 grand, you're going to have problems. And you're going to have more stress than what you need.
Exactly. It's just live below your means. I don't know why people want to max it out. I see it as like, you see your money as like a health bar, essentially.
Yeah, that's
like,
a good
you wanna use it all just to leave yourself on 5%, 2%. It's like you're just living a risky game. You're living life on the edge.
Yeah, come on, man. Like, we've learnt the principles of wealth. Like, it's been written. The code has been written time and time and time again. You know, pay yourself first. At first, I didn't understand, but as I grew older and wiser, I was like, it means invest first. Got it. Okay, good. So now, as soon as the money comes in, goes out to the investment account.
There you go.
Yeah.